Okay, and these are the amendments. I just wanted to show you all the amendments too. All right. Now, in the First Amendment is saying a well-regulated militia. That's the second one. Okay, the First Amendment is saying Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The Second Amendment is talking about the right of the people to keep and bear arms. It should not be infringed upon. The Third Amendment basically talking about we can't have no soldiers in our homes. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, if this is their law right now, they're in violation of it with their 552A. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And they basically talking about the courts in Amendment 5 should be the right to remain silent, but it said no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. See that? Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. You see this? So they're basically going to be taking people property and giving them $100 for it. But anyway, let's see the 13th and the 14th, so that you all see that the 13th. Section 1, under 13th Amendment, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. And the 14th, it's basically they took the rights away from us. We took our rights away. But anyway, I left this up here so that the law that they're in violation of is 18 USC 1918, Title 5, USC 7311. And I want you to see what they did to it. Can you see this? Let me make sure you all, because I want you all to be able to see these. Okay, let me pull it up. So, I need for you all to be able to see this, what they do, what they did to it. You see that? This is what 18 USC 1918. Disloyalty and a certain right to strike against the government. So they changed this law around to penalize federal employees. You see this? Whoever violates the provision of Section 7311 of Title 5, that individual may not accept or hold a position in the government of the United States or government of the District of Columbia if he advocates the overthrow of our constitutional form of government, is a member of an organization that he knows advocates the overthrow of our constitutional form of government, participates in a strike or asserts the right to strike against the government of the United States or the government of the District of Columbia, or is a member of an organization of employees of the government of the United States or of individuals employed by the government of the District of Columbia that he knows asserts the right to strike against the government of the United States or the government of the District of Columbia shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year and 1 day or both. So do you think that this is the reason? This is up under the GPO. Pull this up. Now, this wasn't the actual title of this. 1918, 7311 is violation of the oath of office. They changed it. And it's basically the same. Okay, what is this one? Okay, this is the actual law. The simple fact is any senator, representative, president, vice president, Supreme Court justice, or anyone who holds any office of authority in the United States government who advocates or enact an attack on the United States Constitution is in fact invalidating and forfeiting their right to hold any office in the government per their oath of office under Article 5 U.S.C. 7311. You see that? That is the actual law. Not no right to strike or none of that. I don't know where they got that from. But anyway, they need that tax code because this right here, the GPO, the Government Publishing Office, this is where all of the information it goes for printing. So up under 5 USC 552A, records maintained on individuals. I'm gonna have now Title 5. It had a lot of stuff in here before they moved the whole titles. They switched everything around. But anyway, we're going down here to 552A, and I need to show you why they need what this means. Why they need this tax bill to get passed. Up under 552A, records maintained on individuals, it's basically telling us that they're getting our information from our personal devices, the cell phones, smartphones, any kind of computer, any kind of devices. And what they're doing, let me see. Let me go up here so you can see. No, let me go back out here. Right here up under 552A4, the term record means any item, collection, or grouping of information about an individual that is maintained by an agency, including but not limited to his education, financial transactions, medical history, and criminal or employment history, and that contains his name or the identifying number, symbol, or other identifying particular assigned to the individual, such as a fingerprint or a voice print or a photograph. The term system of records means a group of any records under the control of any agency from which information is retrieved by the name of the individual or by some identifying number, symbol, or other identifying particular assigned to the individual. Now, the reason why they need this information is because they compiled all our information into this database, and basically, I think this one right here, for matches of tax information under I, pursuant to Section 6103D of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. Make sure you can see this. Of 1986, for the purposes of tax administration, as defined in Section 6103B4 of such code, for the purpose of intercepting a tax refund due an individual under authority granted by Section 404E, 464, or 1137 of the Social Security Act, or for the purpose of intercepting a tax refund due an individual under any other tax refund intercept program authorized by the statute, which has been determined by the Director of the Office of Management and Budget, this is Mick Mulvaney, to contain verification, notice, and hearing requirements that are substantially similar to the procedures in Section 1137 of the Social Security Act. So basically what they're going to be doing with this stuff, anybody that have any student loans, any kind of federal debt, they're going to be taking your money. They're going to be taking all your money. And you don't have anything. You can't, there's no recourse. There is no recourse at all. This is up under 552A. This is up under 552A. And you all need to read this because I'm not for certain what type of individuals we're dealing with, but this stuff right here is scary because I've never would imagine that we would have individuals that want to cause harm to people. If you notice, they always talk about the top percent, the top 1%, and the middle class. You know why they don't speak nothing about the poor people? There's not going to be no more poor people. They want to get rid of them too. So we need to pay attention. Come in here and read this stuff. And we need to just let them know that what they're doing is wrong. And we're not going to accept this. Let me put this up.